And the government will want to say, inflation has come down, day-to-day spending has come down.
The country continues to grapple with skyrocketing inflation and climbing energy prices.
More bad news for British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. The UK economy shrunk in the July to September quarter. This suggests Britain may already be in a recession.
The United Kingdom, a country rich in history, faces a crisis like no other. Despite the appearance of everyday life, there is a silent collapse beneath the surface that few are talking about. This video delves deeply into the difficulties facing the United Kingdom, revealing the underlying concerns that threaten its stability and future: economic strain. The United Kingdom faces significant economic issues, including rising inflation and stagnant wages, reducing citizens' purchasing power. This tension is worsened by the complications of Brexit, which have had far-reaching implications for commerce and investment. Brexit has created a significant level of uncertainty regarding trade deals and the future relationship with the European Union. This uncertainty has considerably reduced investor confidence, resulting in a noticeable slowdown in economic growth. The consequences of Brexit are being felt in a variety of areas, affecting firms, consumers, and the entire economic environment. Economists, the United Kingdom's vote to quit the European Union has far-reaching economic impacts. The uncertainty surrounding trade deals and the future relationship with the EU has weakened investor confidence and slowed economic development. The effects of these economic challenges are most acutely felt by ordinary citizens, who are finding it increasingly difficult to make ends meet. The rising cost of living, combined with stagnant wages, is creating a situation in which many households are struggling to meet their financial obligations. This economic strain not only affects individuals and families but also has broader implications for the UK's economic stability and future prosperity. As the UK experiences these economic challenges, there is an urgent need for proactive steps to encourage economic growth, protect household incomes, and address the underlying issues that are causing this economic burden. To guarantee a long-term and proper recovery in the UK economy, policy interventions, fiscal measures, and structural changes will need to be carefully balanced. Social unrest. Social unrest in the United Kingdom is rising as unhappiness among various social groups grows. The working class sees itself as increasingly marginalized, with a growing income gap and fewer possibilities. Simultaneously, minority communities face ongoing discrimination and injustice, heightening their sense of helplessness. While these challenges have existed for a long time, current developments have exacerbated them, increasing feelings of discontent and despair among affected people. The failure to make substantial progress in resolving these underlying issues has increased feelings of separation and unhappiness. Protesters were tired of being rejected and marginalized. The administration must address the underlying reasons for our discontent and work toward a more inclusive society for all. Many people share these emotions, believing that their voices are not heard and that their problems are ignored. The appeal for a more inclusive and fair society reveals a profound desire for substantial change and a rejection of the status system. Addressing these social concerns requires working together to overcome systemic inequalities and create chances for all members of society to succeed. This requires not only regulatory reforms but also a movement in societal attitudes and behaviors toward more tolerance and understanding. By recognizing and resolving these underlying concerns, the UK may move toward a more unified and successful future for all of its residents. Political turmoil. The United Kingdom is experiencing major political noise, as seen by several leadership crises, the rebirth of nationalist movements, and challenges to the existing political order. The Brexit referendum, in particular, exposed deep-seated fractures in British society and cast doubt on the country's future trajectory. Following the Brexit referendum, the traditional political landscape has fractured, with established parties losing ground to smaller, more radical movements. This fragmentation has created a perception of political instability and unpredictability, which gets worse with the complexity of governing in the post-Brexit age. Political analysts, the political landscape in the United Kingdom has never been more divided, with traditional parties losing effect to smaller, more radical forces. This transition has generated a sense of difficulty and instability, which is exacerbated by the difficulties of governing in the post-Brexit world. The rise of nationalist movements and challenges to the old political establishment indicate a greater dissatisfaction with the status quo and a yearning for change among voters. These changes have far-reaching ramifications for the United Kingdom's future, calling into question its political direction, governance, and global position. Navigating this era of political disturbances requires creative leadership, broad dialogue, and a commitment to tackling the root causes of societal differences. By developing a more inclusive and responsive political system, the UK can manage these challenging times while exiting stronger and more united for environmental concerns. Climate change, pollution, and the government's reaction to these difficulties are all receiving more attention in the United Kingdom. While the UK has vowed to reduce its carbon footprint, progress has been slow, raising worries about the sustainability of its environmental policies in the long run. The UK's commitment to decreasing carbon emissions is encountering considerable challenges, particularly in critical areas such as transportation and energy generation. These sectors contribute significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, and moving to a more sustainable, low-carbon economy is critical to meeting climate targets. Environmental scientists, the United Kingdom faces major problems in meeting its climate ambitions, particularly in transportation and energy production. Urgent effort is required to move towards a more sustainable, low-carbon economy. Urgent action is required to solve these difficulties and speed up the transition to a more sustainable future. This involves adopting policies that promote renewable energy, increase energy efficiency, and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Furthermore, there is a need for increased public knowledge and engagement to promote sustainable habits and practices. By working together to address these environmental concerns, the United Kingdom can set the path for a greener, more sustainable future for future generations. Global position. The United Kingdom's global stature is changing dramatically, with its relationships with important friends and opponents shifting swiftly. The aftermath of Brexit has spurred arguments over the UK's role in foreign affairs and ability to influence global events. The UK's choice to leave the EU has prompted an evaluation of its global role, compelling it to redefine its place in the post-Brexit era. This requires the formation of new alliances and partnerships as well as adaptation to a changing global terrain. International relations expert, the UK's global standing is at a crossroads, and it must rethink its role in a post-Brexit world. It must form new alliances and partnerships while navigating a rapidly shifting geopolitical landscape. One of the most significant difficulties facing the United Kingdom is preserving its worldwide influence and relevance. This demands a strategic approach to diplomacy and foreign policy that accounts for the changing dynamics of international relations. Further, the UK must navigate the complexity of a globe increasingly dominated by competition among big countries. This includes managing relationships with established allies such as the United States and Europe, as well as interacting with growing countries like China and India. Brexit has also called into question the United Kingdom's ability to negotiate trade agreements on its own. While there is potential to form new economic alliances, there are also threats from isolation and economic instability. In the end, the UK's global position is undergoing tremendous change and uncertainty. The challenges created by Brexit, together with the changing geopolitical scene, necessitate cautious navigation and intelligent decision-making. By rethinking its role and forming new relationships, the United Kingdom may establish itself as a relevant and influential participant on the world stage. As the United Kingdom faces these problems, there has never been a more pressing need for strong, immediate action. It is time for the nation to band together, address these difficulties head-on, and chart a course for a brighter, more sustainable future. Join us as we continue to monitor the situation in the UK and look into the stories that matter. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more information about the UK's quiet collapse and other worldwide crises. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to receive more material. Until next time, remain informed and safe.